And welcome back here to Houston at the George R. Brown Convention Center as the Texas High School Coaches Association 87th version continues here on TexasSportsProductions.com as we are joined now by David Saenz. He's the head coach of the Cibolo Steele Knights. How many times you heard that mispronounced over the years?
A lot. Yeah, or they call it shirts Steele too. So,
but Cibolo, my gosh, every time I drive through there, I did more and more homes. You guys are just massively growing out there.
Oh yeah, right off that 35 corridor, and you know how it is. It's houses going up everywhere, but that's a good thing. So.
Well, you're going to have more kids ultimately out of that. Right now, still one of the smaller 6A schools, but that doesn't seem to affect you a whole lot. The success is still there because I guess you have quality over quantity at Steele because there's just great athletes come through each year.
Yeah, we're blessed with great athletes, great community, great support, from the community. But it's all part of that foundation that Mike, when he came in and he set that foundation, and Scott, carried it over, and we've been doing those same things for the last 13, 14 years, and the kids have bought in, and the community's bought in, and you get that kind of support. You know how it is. Coming from here, up from Judson,
yeah.
And it just kind of
with Mike,
yeah, with Mike, and it just flows as it goes, and I'm just very blessed to have great community support and great kids.
The motivation is always there to be successful at Steele because the standard has been set, and the kids strive, and the coaches strive, and the community strive to achieve that state championship level, state caliber program each and every year. By most standards, almost any standard of almost any program anywhere in the state, you make it to the second round of the playoffs, and, man, that was a good season. And it was a good season last year for the Steele Knights as well, but y'all fell short of the regional finals, I think, for the first time in 8 years. So as motivated as the program naturally is to keep up the great tradition, how has a setback in the second round as opposed to at least making it to the fourth round, how has that motivated the Steele Knights in this past off season?
It motivates us, as a coaching staff as well as the kids to, we want to be the best. Obviously, you want to win district, and then you want to be the best in the city. Then you want to be the best in the region, and then, the overall goal is a state championship. So we, you just take it one step at a time. Get back to district championship, get back to being the city champions, get back to winning the region, and then let's go win a state championship. It leaves a sour taste in your mouth whenever you think about, we got bounced out of the second half. We did have it was a good year on to, like you said, most programs and this and that, but we're never going to. Winning's not as easy as people think it is.
No, it's not.
And we're not ever going to take that for granted, but we understand the standard, we understand the tradition that is there at Steele, and we know the kids understand that, the community understands what our overall goal is, year in and year out.
Well, we had the Coach Gimbel from Allen on early, and as much success as they've had, he's just talked about how difficult it really is to do, even if you have great talent like they do, great coaching staff, great facilities, the whole 9 yards. Winning big is just harder these days because I think the depth of talent and the depth of the number of teams that are out there that are really good is what separates Texas high school football, I think, from anywhere else in the country.
Yeah, there's no doubt when it comes from the athletic periods and everybody's the model now of you got an off-season program that's structured. Back you think about 30, 40 years ago, the athletic programs were really, may not have been as structured as they are today.
Yeah.
You got kids that are, training, all year long for whatever it may be to, get faster in the 40, get stronger, get bigger, stronger, faster, and they're doing that on their outside as well. So, it is getting tougher, but, it's a good thing, that the kids are doing that. But sometimes, you got to get away from a little bit and say, hey, take a little bit of time off. It's okay to get away from the game for a couple weeks and then get your mind back on it.
Well, your schedule is as challenging as anybody's. You open up the season right. By the way, folks, first game of the season, KCWX TV Channel 2. These David Saenz Steele the David's battle. David Saenz Steele Knights against David Molesky's O'Connor Panthers. So right out of the chute, you get the O'Connor Panthers, who've got you the last 2 years, and that's been turned into a pretty good opening season rivalry. Even when y'all won, it was a close, hard-fought game. When they won, it was a close, hard-fought game. Has that turned into kind of that opening rivalry that you like?
It is. You know, you play Coach Molesky's team, and they are going to, if you have a weakness, you're going to find out on film the next day. Because he's going to, he'll expose, even though it's the first game of the year, he'll expose it from special teams to offense and defense. And, that's why we schedule the way we do. We want to play against teams that are going to expose our weaknesses. And so that we can go back and we can fix them. We don't want to, as a coaching staff or kids thinking, we're unbeatable, we're this and we're that. But you play against, quality coaching, you play against great teams like Coach Molesky has. You're going to find out real quick what your weaknesses are.
It is as a coaching staff and in coaching the game, it's hard to implement everything that you're going to do in the course of the season. You really can't get it implemented before the first game. You add on and continue to improve as the year goes along. And then you face a team like O'Connor right out of the chute in the first game. We got to prepare. We got to learn how to defend an onside kick. We have to learn how to defend a fake punt, and some of those things are things that you don't really start thinking about or working on a whole lot until you're a little further along in the season.
Exactly. With Coach Molesky, his teams are always prepared. It don't matter if it's the first week or week 10. Those guys are going to be, fake punts coming, onside kicks are coming. Special formations on offense, defense. He's going to do what he does. But it's great. That's why I like, playing against a coach, team that is coached by Coach Molesky, just because of the, I'm telling you, the next day we turn that film on, it is instrumental in what we do because it's going to help us, get better, throughout, the rest of the year.
I always joke with Coach Molesky. I said he never met a first half timeout that he didn't like because he uses all of them every time. But he kind of forces the hand of the other coach, too, because he's going to throw something at you like, whoa, wait a minute, we hadn't seen that. Is it fun or stressful coaching against a guy like David Molesky?
It's fun. It's always fun. You play against, Coach Molesky team because it's you're always on your toes, and it's going to be a ball game no matter what team it is, what year it is. Like you said, we played them for I forget how many years now, 5-6 years, and it's always been a close game, both ways. And I enjoy it. I think it like I told you, that the film after, that on that Saturday morning, that is the best teaching tool we have, just because of, I'm telling you will find your weaknesses in a heartbeat.
You have so many good coaches and good programs in your the district that you play in District 26, 6A. There's really no let up, and I think it's going to be even worse because you can, for a moment there you thought, well, San Marcos is, but then you've got Coach Soto who he maximizes whatever San Marcos has, so that's not going to be an automatic game. You look at East Central where they struggled for several years, but Coach Hubbard is very clear that they are headed in the right direction. I mean, you just look across the board in your district, there's no automatics in there at all. You have to play every Friday night.
Yeah, and that is 100% true. The coaches in our district, those guys, they do a tremendous job with all their programs. And I'm telling you, if you have a bad week or you think you're going to take a week off or you think this is going to be a game that you can just walk through, that does not happen in our district. Coach Hubbard, Coach Soto, those guys, they coach their tails off. And trust me, our staff, our kids, they know. When we get into district play, there ain't nothing. You ain't going to just come in and just show up and wear your steel shield and just walk through these games. It's you better be prepared. You better be ready to rock and roll for 4 quarters.
I find it interesting that the amount of crossover between two districts in particular, Judson and Church-Cibolo, where you started your career, I believe, at Judson ISD, and several other coaches on your staff and on the Clemens staff, same thing. And then you look over and there's Rodney Williams, who kind of cut his teeth in the coaching ranks with Church-Cibolo at Clemens High School with Coach Ferrara, he's brought back
Yeah.
to help coach at Judson, and you guys just y'all swap coaches with them a lot.
Yeah, we do. Well, you really can't beat the model that a lot of these programs are, with Coach Rutledge, with Mike coming from there, and then we had, Coach Robert Linhoff,
Right.
and his foundation that he did at Clemens, and we kind of mixed the two together, and that's how Mike built the Steele program. But it works. It works. The discipline, the intensity that you're supposed to work with, and not taking anybody for granted at any time on your schedule. Those are all things that have set the foundation for the Steele Knight program.
It's do you call that a healthy rivalry? Is there any bitterness there? Because it seems as if Judson and Steele and Clemens and Wagner, you could throw them all in there. And you guys kind of really know each other so well. Does it make you more determined to beat them, or how do you categorize that rivalry? Good rivalry, healthy rivalry,
it's a great.
We hate those guys.
No, it's a great healthy rivalry. The kids love it. Us as coaches, we look forward to those. It's 78. That may be one of the unknown roads of Texas where the talent is. Especially in San Antonio area. But it's a healthy rivalry. We love it. We love to play those games because those games are big. They're big for the community. They're big for our kids, and they're big for us as coaches. We why coach if you don't have those type of rivalry games? Why coach if you go out there and get to play against a quality opponent and go out there and compete, for 4 quarters.
I got to ask you, as the head coach of the Steele Knights, is the Judson rivalry bigger or the Clemens rivalry bigger?
I don't know. They're pretty equal, both of them. I would say for our community-wise, it's that battle of 3009 is pretty dang big.
Right.
Now, when it go ask the kids, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But those games are both pretty important games, and they're big games, and we know we're going to have to fight for 4 quarters in both of those games, no matter what year it is, no matter who's playing. Not even football. I'm talking every sport.
Oh, it's fierce.
It is, but it's a healthy relationship. Got a great relationship with Jared, and he was there with us at Steele. I think you got to ask him. He told me. I think
he's on deck.
He told me the other day. He's like, man, I've been longer at Clemens than I've been at Steele than he was at Steele.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's a testament to the job that he's done there.
And getting older.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, well, that's a good thing, man. That's a testament to you and how you brought this program along. And we just know that those games are going to be 4-quarter battles.
And it's always so much fun. Well, I know y'all set the bar so high and dominated for so long that you had that long streak where Judson had never beat you, but they've got you 2 years in a row. And there's Clemens sitting there. They're hungry. So you still feel like y'all have the bullseye on your back?
Oh, no doubt.
Because that guy over there, the Buffaloes, they want a piece of you.
Yeah, well, that's what we tell our kids. We tell our kids all the time is that's not a bad thing. We got the bullseye on our back. Everybody's gonna give us their best game, and we got to understand that as a program. We got to understand that as a coaching staff that everybody is going to play their best game against
Smithson
us.
Valley's another example.
Yeah.
Y'all hadn't lost to them, but they're going to come out every time and try to take their best swing.
They will, and we have to understand that as a staff and as a team. And like you mentioned earlier, our district is if you come out and you are not prepared, or you come out and you're not firing on all cylinders, you're going to be in for a 4-quarter game.
All right, real quick here, tell our viewers, Daniel Jackson, one of your star receivers, made a pretty big announcement yesterday.
Yeah, he committed yesterday to Iowa State, and that's a big time thing. We love everything they had to offer, from the recruiting standpoint, and we're expecting big things from him. His brother's at Oklahoma. He's coming out. He's going to. I think he's going to start for him this year, and we're expecting huge things from Daniel. Daniel is. I'm glad he's on my team. And
you have a couple of others that are really highly thought of as well.
Yes, sir. We got Jalen Jones, our corner. He's committed to A&M. Obviously, White's back.
Right.
DeQuavian's back, and we got Damian Hart on the defensive side. Christian Gardner is going to play linebacker for us, and with the tools are in place. You know, those guys understand, and they're going to come out, and you know they're going to compete. They're going to play their tails off.
Coach, we'll see you the last Saturday of August. You and Coach Molesky and the O'Connor Panthers right here on Texas Sports Productions. You can watch it live. Coach, congratulations on a great run so far at Steele, and we wish you best of luck this season as well.
Well, thank you for having me. All
right, as well, you can also listen to the Steele Knights all year long on KLUP AM 930 in San Antonio and right here on TexasSportsProductions.com. We'll be back. Jared Johnston, the head coach of the rival Clemens Buffaloes, is up next here on TexasSportsProductions.com.